Never built an R8 bumper in the kitchen before.
Welcome to today's video, boys. Today is R8 assembly day. We are going to start by installing this carbon fiber wing, getting this front bumper redone, finishing the roof in a nice gloss black, and putting everything together to make a masterpiece. Okay, we have wing on the car. I do not think it looks absolutely terrible. I put my trunk down to show you guys. I don't think it looks terrible. I think it's definitely an interesting move. Yeah, the roof is going to get painted, so don't worry about that. But I think from an overall perspective, if you're looking at it, I think it does look really cool. Like, it gives a supercar vibe to it. It really elevates it. And it doesn't look as stock, which is obviously what we're going for here. But I also don't think it looks stupid. I know it may end up that way eventually, but for right now, I think it looks pretty good. The concern was that this hatch wouldn't open, and you wouldn't be able to access the engine to service it. I contacted the owner. He was cool with that. He said as long as I could put oil in the car if I'm making like a journey to Maggie Valley for a show or something, and I can lift the hatch up. You can lift the hatch up, the oil fill is right here, and you can put oil in the car. No worries. I'll admit it's not the easiest, but he was cool with that. He said he understands that it may be inconvenient, but it's not going to be that big a deal because whenever a tech goes to, say, service this, you need to change the air filter, yada, yada. All you have to do is unbolt these two bolts at the front, leave the back bolted, and the wing is going to flip up. So you'll never have to dismount the wing completely, and it won't be super inconvenient. I admit, it's not the easiest of pushing the button, lifting the hatch up, and going about your day, and then you got to work around this big thing. But it's literally 4 bolts, and it's not that hard to do, and then you just have that guy in the way. So that's what we're going to go with. I have this as far back as I want it. Everything's measured out so it's even, and I feel like I'm fitting the curvature of the back of the car very nicely when it comes around. I don't think it's bad, guys. Matches the carbon over here, matches all the good stuff, and I think it's actually going to be pretty good. It matches, it works with the carbon, it fits the vibe of the car, and I think it elevates the car overall. It makes it look like more supercar-y, and I think that's what he's looking for, so we're going to send it, guys. Time to make some brackets. So with this, what I'm going to do is go ahead and draw my line. That way I know about exactly where this wing is going to sit, and I make sure I can put my holes good. There's 3 holes in this wing. We have 1 in the center, 2 on each side. Once I have that established, we're going to go ahead and make a bracket to go under here. In my car, I have like a tiny wing mount. This has much more surface volume here, but it's also a bigger wing, so it's going to have more pressure on it. Mine is smaller, but as you see, like mine, I have a big plate under here, ideally, my plate is probably a giant square, at least not double to triple the size of the wing mount holding the wing to the car. So there's another bracket under here. It's a big square-like piece that goes under there and forms to the trunk and holds this wing together. So essentially, we're going to be doing the same thing on this one. Probably come out this much, maybe like a 3 by like a, I don't know, like a 10-inch piece. And that way it's going to help this mount, because if you go and push on this, it can be frowned upon. This is like very soft metal and it's super thin. So this is going to bend, and that could like put pressure and then end up bowing the quarter. So we want to prevent that at all costs here and make sure we don't have that happen. So we're going to take some metal, make a big bracket for the bottom of this, and bolt everything together to make sure we have a nice flat piece that's going to add strength and rigidity to this wing. All right, apparently I'm really fond at drilling holes in nice cars, because this is take 2. Here is to drilling into a R8 with a drill bit, a perfectly good R8. Let's get it. Bit number 2. That'll work. Now that that's out of the way, we can go ahead and remove this and get the rest of the shavings off the top. I have a magnet under the bottom, so hopefully it caught majority of those shavings that went to the inside. Yeah, there we go. We are clear to go. There's our 3 holes. Now that those holes are done, I went ahead and put a clear kind of tape on this backside. We're also going to put sealant on here once it's officially assembled for the last time. This is just going to be a test mock-up, so I have some sealant on here. I'm going to go ahead and trace and cut out my holes. This is just 3M clear stuff. I didn't want gray because I didn't want you to be able to see it. So we put a nice clear stuff on here, so it'll be going like that and help create like a nice seal as well. On top of the sealant we're going to put to make sure no water gets down in here. It's not as bad as this is a trunk, and we don't want to leak into like the trunk or the tray in the bottom of the trunk, but this is still, I don't want water to have to get down here, drip into the top of the tail light. It's just, water's not really made to get there, so I'm trying to make sure it stays as sealed as possible. We're at take 2. Super tiny bracket. Little room for error, boys. So also with this, with drilling holes, if you'll notice there'll be like a little burr on the outside of it. You can take one of these step bits very gently and go around, and it'll knock all the burrs off so you don't have that eating into your sealant or whatever gasket you have on this thing. So you put that in there. Just gently go around like that, and you'll notice it'll take the shape of this taper, and it'll kind of take this little edge right here, and it'll knock that down and make a nice, almost countersunk hole to where you won't have any issues, and it'll be a nice and smooth hole. All right, boys, test fit time. I got the brackets on here. We're ready to go. All right, boys, wing is on the automobile. Let's go ahead and get a back bolt in here. Kind of what I was talking about. So like the hatch will definitely not open, but it's just going to be as simple as taking this like this, opening the hatch and letting this sit backwards like this while the hatch is up, and or putting it back down, which is probably going to be better, just leave it backward. Then you're at full access right here. You can do anything you want to the engine bay. I don't think it's going to have an issue at all. I'm really happy with it, and I'm 99.9% sure Ted's going to love the thing. It's awesome. It looks really cool, and it adds that supercar vibe to the thing. Newest curiosity in the garage, Dex. What are you doing? You are the cutest. You are the cutest little thing ever. Yes, you are. Oh my goodness, come on, butt scratches, butt scratches, butt scratches. What are you doing? What are you doing? And he's gonna go run. Boys, wing is on the R8. It actually looks killer. I'm really happy with it. Ted absolutely loved it on FaceTime. Super good. Shop guys were convinced. I think it looks freaking killer. Very good. Fits the car super well. Looks awesome. I do think in the future what we're going to do is leave the sides carbon. We're going to get a APR sticker that matches the color of the car, and we're going to go ahead and paint that match the intake, as well as the silver grills that go on the side. So these grills right here are what we're going to paint the same color as the car to kind of make everything blend together on here and just add that whole vibe. When you look down the car, be like, oh wow, it looks really good. I couldn't talk about painting the roof black. I think it looks better blue. That's just me though, because it's going to flow with the intake and stuff, but not my car. It will look good. It's not going to look bad, just not my favorite. I love the blue and I like all the color, so, you know, but hey. Time to get the wing buttoned up. Get a top bolt in it. Gonna go ahead and put our bottom bolt on. I'm just gonna make this thing level. I don't know exactly where he wants it. It's not like he's racing the car. So adjustment is not really the biggest hamper and or concern here. I'm just gonna make it level. So tighten this down. And when you guys do stuff like this, make sure you line all the bolts up. If they have a little writing on them, just the little details like that will add to the elevated look of the vehicle. And yes, I am a perfectionist. Yes, I have to have everything lined up, but it just adds those little details when you're looking around a car and you're like, oh, that's good. Oh. And then those little details help elevate your build in your car, and it makes it look 10 times more better than if like everything was just misaligned, just kind of thrown together, and yeah, it looks good, but those little subtle details have added the car and make it look so much better than it could if everything was just misaligned. Little detail, and yeah, I'm super particular, but that's why people bring their stuff to me, because they know how particular I am, and I know I'll treat their car just as my car. All our bumper problems can go away now. We got a used bumper with no damage on it. It's going to take a light sanding, disassembly, seal this thing, and get it color matched. The bow tie so I don't scratch the paint with my drawstrings. Can't find Kyle though. I think he's sleeping on the job. Now we can begin sanding the roof. Kyle's knocking this out with the DA. Upon sanding it, we notice a few little spots, so we're going to put some UV primer on this, knock it out really quick. Stuff dries almost instantly. Sand this back down, prep it really good, get all the contaminants off. Kyle really busted his butt, knocked this stuff out. It's going to look killer when this thing is in the booth. Shout out for Kyle for being such a big help in this project. going on?
Remember the kitchen that built this bumper? Never built an R8 bumper in the kitchen before. What's up? We're building an R8 bumper in the kitchen. No. We already have one built in. Don't even worry about it. Why don't you put all that shit out of the way? I need all your beautiful decor.
Whoopsies.
Potter pajama pants.
How you doing, hon?
Harry Potter pajama pants.
What did I drop?
This car does not look. Okay.
Out cold.
Stop recording.
Our boys, that's a wrap. Bumpers on the car. Tow hook covers on the M3. Intake has heat shielding on it. We're ready to wash in the morning and head to Cars and Coffee. Super good day. Me and Kyle knocked this out. He did phenomenal. Roof looks freaking killer. I'm pretty happy with it. I didn't think I'd like it, but overall it looks pretty good. We're showered, we're tired, and we're ready for bed. We'll see y'all in like 4 hours. Thank you guys for watching this. I really hope you enjoyed. This was an awesome project, and I can't wait to do it again.